Shalom, real quick, giving all praise to Yahweh, Bashem, El Shai, Bashem, Rakakodah, Shalom to the 144,000. And the rest of you elect out there, Shalom to you all. Anyway, I'm going to title this video, Thy Wife Shall Be in Harlot in the City. City is Babylon. And thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword. The modern day sword is the gun. And thy land shall be divided by line. The heathens got your land, and thou shalt die in a polluted land. What does it say in Ezekiel 4? You shall eat your bread defiled among the Gentiles, and thou shalt die in a polluted land. And Israel shall surely go into captivity forth of his land. That's the Americas, which is also known as the fourth Canaan. You have Canaan, the original land in the east, and then you have on the other side of the world, you have the land of Canaan. Shall surely go into captivity forth of his land, forth of his land. Let me look up the word polluted. It said, and thou shalt die in a polluted land. That's definitely Babylon the Great, which is the fourth part of the earth, the Americas, fourth of his land. Let's look up the word polluted. I'm going to show you that your women are they selling box. But they tell you, I'm in the real estate. Real estate in between your legs. Harlot, I should look up harlot. Polluted. The word is tama'ah. And I bet you one of the precepts, unclean, impure, ethically, and religiously, ritually of places. What makes you, this is all for the word unclean or polluted. I'm not even going to attempt to read a fifth of these, 88 times and 78 verses. Ezekiel, I knew that was going to be in there on the list. Ezekiel 4 verse 13, this is also talking about the polluted land. And Yahweh said, even thus shall the children of the sons of Israel eat their defiled or polluted, the word there is polluted, in a polluted land. They're going to eat polluted foods or polluted bread. Bread meaning food, covering food. Bread among the Gentiles. Their defiled or polluted bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. He drove you, the Lord driven you out into the uttermost west, which is the fourth part of the earth or the land. That's in Revelation chapter 6, as we know. And the map that Wazim Mullah made concerning the fourth part of the world. So anyway, this is a video of your sisters, your good sisters, and this is what they do. They say they don't need a man. They don't need a man because they jump from man to man. You're going to get a disease dealing with these sisters.
Do women need men? Absolutely not. Hell no. 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 All I need is women. Independent clocking.
As a woman, you have no business hunting on a man that cannot and will not help you financially if need be. I said what I said.
Modern day prostitutes. crazy about this generation now? These bitches actually call niggas tricks and don't consider themselves whores.
At this fucking point, if the cost of living keeps fucking going up, I got something for sale. And just know I'm not talking about shit in this apartment. If they give me one more motherfucking price range, whether it's food, gas, fucking bills, I'm sick of it all. I'm going to be selling it, and I'm not motherfucking playing. Just know that.
To me, that the girls who are selling cooch are telling people that they're in real estate, but as like a cover-up, because they...
So you deal with a chick, and what do you do? Oh, I'm in the real estate. We know what real estate you're in.
Selling cooch.
I knew it. I knew it. I said it. And you all called me mammoth. I told y'all, everybody out here is selling box. Because how are you making this much money in regular old real estate in this current market? Like in like 2021, 2, 3, I'd be like, all right, that was the time to make the bread. But in current times, these real estate agents and these new home sales people are struggling because the economy's bad.
They're suffering. You don't got no money, you know? The economy's effed up. There's another video I was watching where they went, the guy had certain people go to Walmart, and they had all those different, you know, 85 inch TVs, 90, almost 100. 90, I think 95 is the biggest commercially, but they got bigger ones that don't sell in regular stores. And you can get like a 65 inch for like 300 and change. You know, 75 for maybe 400, under 500. Now remember, back in the day, you got a 46, 47 inch. I don't know what the standard is, 46 or 47. That thing cost you a couple $1,000s. So the prices came down. So they're next to nothing. Ain't nobody buying them because them TVs last forever. So, you know, people are catching hell money-wise. People don't have money. So, you know, what Nero is doing, Nero 47, or Nero got a new name for him. It's Nero Vedivivos. Nero Vedivizos. Am I saying it right? Is it Redividos or Redividos? Which means Nero reincarnated, loosely translated. Redividos, Nero. Look that word up. Look up Nero. Go to Google and put in Nero. I believe is. Let me make sure it's correct. Redivivos. Nero Redivivos. Okay, that's not Rendezvous. That's not it. Let me do it. Let me do it this way. Emperor Nero said he would come back to life. Redivivos. I was right. Redivivos. Nero made a statement. Emperor Nero didn't necessarily say he'd return, but after his death in 68 AD, a widespread legend called Nero Redivivos. Well, it said that other sources say that he said he's going to come back. He said he's going to come back and he's going to bring hell with him when he comes back. Well, he's back. Nero reborn. Redivivos means re of life, to come back to life. That's what it means. Re meaning back. Of vivos. Back to life. Nero reborn emerged fueled by fear, hope, especially among the poor who liked his policies. And astrology suggesting he secretly survived and would return from the east with an army to reclaim power because he killed himself. This myth led to several dangerous imposters. The pseudo Neros, or the fake Nero, who used the legend to incite rebellions for decades, convincing many he was truly alive. Well, he did come back. He didn't lie. He did prophesy that he's coming back. They said he's coming back and he's bringing hell with him. I'm trying to find the actual quote. Trying to find the quote there. The quote, actually. So he's there. He's here. So anyway, him becoming the king of Babylon, he destroyed the economy was already effed up by the last guy. So, you know, he said he's going to put the economy, put everything back in order, make Babylon great again. And he made it even worse. So you have these women, our women, they don't tell you what they do. These women don't tell you what they do.
And people are afraid to buy homes, or they just can't afford it. Just simply can't afford it. So how are there so many?
And another thing, if you buy a home in America, and I believe that's every state. I know here in New York, tri-state area, New York, Jersey, Connecticut, if you buy the home, you got to pay, what is it called? Damn, it was right on the tip of my tongue. Actually, it's a land tax, or what's got the name of it? Property tax. I'm sorry, property tax. And what happens is they'll tell you, okay, this is the property tax for this year. You know, your house is worth, let's say, $500,000. Your property tax might be $5,000 a year. So that would be what is that? If it's 500,000, 50,000 would be 10. 5,000, I believe, is is 1%, I believe. Now the next year can go up. It can go up. Every year can go up. Before you know it, 10 years down the road, you was paying 5,000 a year. Now you're paying 50,000 a year. So people are scared to even buy a house. You got these floods. You can't get flood insurance because that's considered an act of God. So for these women to say they're in the real estate, they're talking about the real estate in between their legs. Among you Jake women.
Successful real estate agents. And I don't really see you posting about how many homes you've closed. But you're making so much money. How is this happening? Real estate agents, they don't post when they close. But y'all not posting your closings. Everybody's selling box. Bottle girls, bartenders, scrippers, real estate, nurses, anybody on a yacht, they just selling box. Anybody that travels outside the country.
Or you got these Jake women that go to Dubai, and what they do is these freaky, I guess they're Arabs, some Edomites. This is how they get off. They have a woman open their mouth and they shit in the woman's mouth, and the woman has to eat the shit, and they might get 30,000, which is chump change. So they might go ahead and do it 10 times to 10 different men, and come back to the States with $300,000, and you fall in love with this woman not knowing that she's a shit eater. These women that are singers, it says in the Apocrypha, it says, not too many words. Let me go ahead and bring it up. Let me just put in singer, and it'll come up. singer. Okay, I want to modify it if I can. How can we modify it? Modify search, I'm sorry, change it up. Let's go to the Apocrypha. Okay, use not much the company of a woman that is a singer, lest thou be taken with her attempts. These female singers are, well, I showed you with the Diddy thing. They got this super talent, but they got to do certain things behind closed doors. That's Ecclesiasticus 9 verse 4. Use not much the company of a woman that is a singer, lest thou be taken with her attempts and get a disease. Biggest freaks out there are these singers, these top world-class singers among Jake women.
Selling box.
Because a lot of these women are prostitutes. You don't look at a man as your best friend. You look at a man as your provider. And that's mistake number one. That's why a lot of marriages and families break up, because you're not even marrying your best friend. You're marrying someone on a transaction like, oh, he's my provider.
Yo, girl, like, what you do? That you need a trick. Do you know what a trick is? See, y'all think a man who just wants to spend a little money on you because he likes you, or just because he got it like that, you think that's a trick. See, what this started, I feel like, when Insta baddies or Insta models, when women started to aspire to be like that, that's when all the sex work and civilian lifestyle, that's when all the lines started to blur. You bitches seen sex workers on Instagram and it was like, I want to be like that woman, not knowing exactly what was going on.
I done gave you my time and my time costs. And they like, for a day? I feel like the day.
That's the definition of prostitution. When you spend time with a woman and you constantly coming out your pocket, buy a $1,000 dress, take it to a 5-star restaurant, take on a trip, then you get the box. That's prostitution. It's called a quid pro quo. The dating scene is really prostitution now. And then brothers in Israel get mad because we say you can get with Edomite. Edomites, they exercise, they eat right, they buy everything. You find a lot of these Edomites are healthy. They're always going to the doctor. They got herbologists. They go to any health food store where they sell herbs and things for health. You're gonna see Edomite women up in there. When you go on the trail walking or running, you're gonna see Edomite women and Edomite men. They don't just lay around, man. They take care of themselves. Not saying that they're not hoes, but you got to be, at this point, you got to be like Paul, not have a woman, because you may get a disease. But you damn sure going to get a disease from a Jake woman, because she doesn't give a shit. She doesn't go to the doctor, and she might get scared. They might have to do a follow-up. They'll test you, and you got to come up next week to get a follow-up, and you don't show back up. Well, that happened to me. This is when I was in my 20s. They tried to get me to take the AIDS test at that time. I don't know, did they get it? Did they take the test? I don't remember what I said no. Well, you never know. I said no. And then people that do take the test, they got to come back in 2 weeks to get to find out what it is, and they never show up because they're afraid to hear the bad news. You go to places like Houston, Texas. That's one place. Atlanta. Many of these cities, these so-called famous cities, black chocolate cities, these women have many diseases, men and women. Atlanta is known for, you got a lot of men that go both ways among our people. So we're all fucked up. So you, as the saying goes, you rolling your dice on the on the crap table, when you deal with these women.
Date is the payment. Like, I feel like me take you out to dinner, that's not enough conversation. You're like, no, I got bills to pay. I don't got time to waste. Ooh, why are you on this date? You didn't have to accept it. You could have said no. Like, I'm not in a place in my life where I can date right now. Like, y'all will accept dates and then want a man to pay for your time. Tell me that ain't prostitution.
Let's look up the word prostitution. So you're going to say we're not under the curses, huh? Prostitution, definition: the practice or occupation of engaging in sexual activity with someone for payment. It could be a watch, it could be a ring, it could be a fancy dinner, it can be clothes, it can be furniture, it could be a new car or a good car. They were held captive and forced into prostitution. It says the unworthy or corrupt use of one's talents for the sake of personal or financial gain. That's talking about a guy, a trumpeter that can't get no gig, and he does a bar mitzvah, parties for kids. He prostitutes himself. But it really means the practice of or occupation of engaging in sexual activity with someone for payment. Mostly it's dollars, right? So let's come on back. Let's come on back.
You broke, you do not need to be dating.
A lot of women, and not all, but a lot of women will be like, oh,
look at how they dress. The last time I was in the gym, they were all dressed pretty much like this. They wear tights, they got the tattoos on, they got nice bodies, and they're looking for men. And they jump for men. They'll get with one dude in the gym. She's cool with the dude. They lifting together. They going to the gym together. A month, 2 months later, she's with another dude. She might be with a white dude. Those are what you call gym thoughts, if they didn't go up there and tell you. Gotta stay away from our women, man.
I want this high-end restaurant, boom, boom, boom. But they don't even take themselves there.
Them is the broke ones. They go for men and women. If you broke, you do not need to be dating. Now, women done turn dating.
Isaiah chapter 3:16 on down talks about how the Most High, they will show their secret parts. I'm merely paraphrasing. I'm not going to go to it.
And call it men that won't spend on them what they won't spend on themselves. They call them broke or sassy, whatever, when they really is modern day prostitutes. That's what that is. You out here looking for a man to provide you a lifestyle you can't afford yourself.
That's a fact. That's a big fact.
You can't serve two masters. Jake, the Most High is money, especially the so-called black woe man.
If I'm sleeping with you, why would you not be paying for my basic maintenance?
Oh. And that's prostitution. That's prostitution. That's the definition of prostitution. And if you tell them they're a prostitute, they'll smack you. They'll curse you out.
Who's paying it before me?
Somebody that I was probably.
You were paying it before me, right? So listen.
No.
Just
if you're not paying it, somebody else is.
Look at how our women dress. They have no shame.
If he doesn't pay somebody else will.
Well, listen, and it's
read Ecclesiasticus chapter 25, chapter 26, Isaiah 3 verse 16 on down, Isaiah 32 and 9 on down. You can read a couple of verses above that. Especially Amos. Let's go back to Amos. Back to the basics. Where am I? Amos. Look at that. Amos 7 and 17. It says, thy wife, Israelite man's wife, shall be an harlot in the city. The city represents the great city. Let's look up the word harlot. I bet you harlot is in there multiple times. Tamar became a harlot a prostitute to Judah, and he wanted her to be burnt up, and he said that you are more righteous than me, because she had to play the harlot, and she actually did become a harlot, but it was considered a righteous thing. The son of Judah, or the sons of Judah, because they were twins, that line came from your history. That woman played the harlot, even though she played it one time. So the word harlot is zana. Zana. It's a verb, not a noun. To commit fornication, which is adultery, be a harlot, play the harlot. You become a harlot if you deal with one man, you deal with a second man, the first man is still alive, you're a harlot. If you're committed to that man, you're a harlot. You're an adulterer, and under the law you can be put to death, and the man that laid with you gets put to death. And this is why our women do this, because you're here in America. And they talk about how great America is and how it's blessed by God. This place is not blessed by God. It said to be a harlot, act as a harlot, commit fornication, which is adultery, to commit adultery, to be a cult prostitute, to be unfaithful to God, that's spiritual fornication, to play the harlot, to cause to commit adultery, to force into prostitution, or to become a prostitute, commit fornication, adultery. So let's go down here. There's 93 times. Let's see if it's in the Old Testament or the Old and New Testament. I bet you that's just the Old Testament. Yep, Old Testament. 93 times in the Old Testament only. And they said should, let me see, Genesis 38 verse 15, when Judah saw her, he thought Tamar, he thought her to be in harlot. Well, she was a harlot. She played the harlot that one time to supplant you. That's why you said that the act that she did was more righteous. She was more righteous than me. Our Lord, the Messiah, said the harlots will make it in the kingdom before the scribes and the Pharisees. Meaning the scribes, wicked scribes and Pharisees are going to make it in the kingdom, but the harlots are going to make it in the kingdom first. So when Bishop Nate says, "Oh, there's a hell," no, there's not a hell. Not a, especially for Israel. It says because she had covered her face. And that was the thing. She had covered her face. Anyway, I'm not going to read all of these. Okay, it says here, Exodus 34 verse 15. Lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, and they go a whoring after their gods. Like Jake want to go back to Africa, Islam, atheists. They want to make money. They're in everything. So when you tell them that they're Israelites, they don't want to hear it. So that's why they're going to have to be deleted in this place. So let's come on back to the video.
And it's women that I've had who was having other dudes do stuff for them and coming and sleeping with me. So I'll let the other dude do that, and you can come.
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Recha HaKodash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of great.
Bottom line, our women are all messed up, and they're good, and they're great liars too. They lie their ass off. They on the fly. They know I was with my cousin, I was with my sister. They cover themselves. And they have no shame, man. That's in Proverbs 30. They can be having sex with your homeboy, man, or your brother, or your father. Proverbs 30, if I'm not mistaken. Proverbs 30. I believe the word is Edith. Such, 20th verse, such is the way of an adulteress or a harlot woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth and saith, I have done no wickedness. Until you catch them. That's why you catch them on camera. Then when you catch them on camera, they'll curse you. Well, you wasn't showing me no attention. They're completely out of order. This is why the majority of you women here in America, you're not going to make it. You're just not going to make it. The majority of our people over here in America, and this place is there's two places that's going to be utterly destroyed. The Levant, which is the Middle East, the land of Israel and so forth, formerly Canaan, and Babylon the Great. Now, when you go around the world, buildings are going to fall all around the world. Every wall shall come down. That's in the scripture too. Because of the earthquake, because the planet Earth is going to quake back and forth from those missiles pelting the earth. So there will be dead people all around the planet, but there will be a lot of survivors around the world. Just like any earthquake, you have survivors, right? The majority of people survive. You may get 10% of the people that die or 5% of the people that die in this particular earthquake. And that's going to happen. That's going to end the time of Jacob's trouble. So we're in the time of Jacob's trouble, but it's going to get worse. It's just beginning. So for you people out there, you Israelites that watch the video to get entertained, you're not going to know what to do. You're not going to know. The ones of you that follow different camps, well, I'm not going to say Yahweh because I'm not sure that that's his name. I'm going to say the most, just to be on the safe side, I'm going to call him Jesus. I'm going to take the chip because my camp, my leader told me to take it. That's the main thing you're supposed to be talking about, that chip. Most of us constantly going to them videos on anytime there's a video or like a newspaper article or a newspaper on the web, a magazine article on pushing the chip and the technology, we do videos on it to ad nauseum. So this is what you're supposed to be talking about. When you talk to Jake and you tell him that the Israelites, and they say, well, why is it so important that I got to be an Israelite? Well, you got to be an Israelite, but ultimately you got to be of the elect. And if you're of the elect, you're going to wake up to this anyway. If you're not of the elect, you're going to hear what we say and you're going to go about your business. And ultimately you're going to take that charagma, and then you're going to be condemned. And the Most High is going to put it in your mind to stay in this country. You might be planning on going out of the country 2 weeks from the point you're saying you're going out of the country. I'll go out in 2 weeks. The missiles could come in the following week, so that messed up your plans. So it's not going to be a fun time when all hell breaks loose. Jacob's trouble when all hell breaks loose. Let's listen to a little bit more, and then I'm gonna close.
Millstone honors as well to you other elders, you brethren, you fellow believers of this truth. Shalom to you sincere brothers and sisters. Shalom to the elect. I'm gonna make this short, maybe a couple of scriptures. We've all went through the scriptures on these women, but I just want to do a short commentary. With these women that you cannot.
Yeah, just on the precept, your woman should be a harlot in the city. You look that word up. Like I said, initially in the Old Testament alone, it's almost 100 times. And then you have other words, root words that go into the same meaning. So the word harlot or hua is hundreds of times at least in the Old Testament alone. And our women, they have protection. They can call 911. They can leave you. They can do what they want. You got dudes that attach themselves to women. When the woman leaves, the dude will wind up, there's one video where his woman left. I don't want to be with you no more. He stabbed her up 217 times. So that's called overkill. That's a crime of passion. Because when a man gets a woman, by nature, that's your property. By nature. When you go to Romans chapter 2, when it speaks about the law written, you know, let me go to that. You know that you know by nature a man not to say lay with another man. And when a Jake man gets a Jake woman, the Jake man, that's my property. I own her. He might not say it, but that's how he feels. That's why the dude stabbed the woman up, 217 times. He said, no, I own you. And that's how it's going to be in the kingdom. We're going to own these women. Let me go to Romans real quick. Romans 2. Let me go to 15. It's around 15, 14 verse. Let me go up. I'll go right here. You can read the whole chapter. For when the Gentiles, which are Israelites, and the Gentile state of mind, which have not the law, do by nature the things contained in the law. That's why Jake got a woman, step out on him, and he finds out, he'll go crazy, and he'll wind up killing the woman. These having not the law, or the law that was given to Moses, are a law unto themselves. So Jake men know by nature that he's not supposed to lay with another man. So if they they're doing it to be wicked. Now Esau don't give a shit. We had two Jake men walk by us, be a block away, and they holding hands, and then they let go of each other, and they walk like they're real men. Cause they know that in the spirit that shit ain't right. It's wicked. But two Edomite men, they'll walk and hold hands, and they'll walk right by you and look at you, hoping, thinking, asking themselves what you got to say. Because the law is not in them. The law is not written in their heart. You know that it's against the law to kill somebody. You know that. So a man that gets jealous over his woman, I'm moving on. The man loses it, man. Because by nature, that's his property. So anyway, so I read that. Use boxes for sale. So now when you talk to one of the tribes women, you already know in your mind how many men have she laid with.
I take serious. All of them claim they don't need men. But if you take,
well, they're mixed. They're all fucked up in the head. They're haywire. They're haywire.
Their amenities away, and everything that they have is from men. Absolutely everything. From their hair, right? Because the governing countries that run that, and the men that run the financial institutions, right? For the cars that are being built, right? For the cell phones that are being built, right? For the trash that's being picked up, and the sewage that's being picked up, right? And the majority of the mail that's coming to their houses via UPS, FedEx. I mean, the list goes on. If every man took off work for 3 months, these women would crumble. And you already seeing them crumble. That's why now they're talking about selling the stuff. Now this is what.
Oh, well, they've been doing it, man. They just bold with it now. They've been doing it, man.
I wanted to get into real quick. These women, a lot of these women, you had guys that came at us.
Oh, when you make your woman mad and she disappear, she's going right to another man. She's hightailing it right to another. She's beelining it right to another man. Oh, you think, well, I just went over here and no, she went right to another fucking man. So you know you got a hoe.
Great Millstone says, see, y'all like prostitutes.
They're all prostitutes. They're all prostitutes.
Some truth for you. I don't hate to tell you this, but you should know this, that all of them the women that you have were in whoredom and prostitutes. Did you know that even in my day, I'm not a young man, but even in my day and even before then, you had to show that you had the wealth for women to like you? We're not talking about ancient times, but even in ancient times, the men that had the money, they had the wealth. See, these women, they want to be taken care of. They want traditional marriages, but they don't want to do the traditional things like men having other wives and things like that, or bowing themselves to their husband and calling them Lord and everything else that comes with it. They want their own money.
That's why they're not going to make it in the kingdom. They're going to suffer the second death because they're out of order. We're going to get new women. We're going to get good, clean girls. And they're going to be 12 years old. That's when you're going to get them, when they're 12 years old, as soon as they become women. As soon as they go from childhood to womanhood, you go from childhood to womanhood when you reach your puberty. That's for boys becoming a man and girls becoming a woman. You reach that at 12 years old, sometime 11. And you're ready to reproduce. But these other Israelites, they get all bent out of shape over that.
But then they want you to...
I'm going to say this too. If you're not in GMS, don't come around me. Don't say nothing to me. I don't want to talk to you. If you're not in GMS, if you're in another camp and you want to talk and get... No, I don't get down like that. Because you know what I see now in the spirit? A lot of you guys can see that the mark of the beast is a chip, so you want to get more information. I ain't here to give you no... I already watch the videos.
Take them out and buy them everything and luxurious furnishings. And these simple men will do that and they'll get...
Oh, no. Oh, like the video I did. No. Can't. There's no way in hell I'm spending big money. I might take a woman. A lot of times I have women come directly to my house. I'll sweet talk them. I had that happen to me many a time. Just come to the house, sit down on the couch. One thing turns to another. Then I might say we didn't go all the way, of course, because I'll disrespect her. I might say, you want to go get something to eat? You know, it's on me. Go to the diner or something, sit down, eat, get to know each other. We had a good time. You know, we set up a date where we can go to get together 2 days from now, 3 days, over the weekend. Or Sunday. We're going to spend the day Sunday. And then you take her out and, you take her to the restaurant, you go to the house, you do what you got to do. Not going all the way, and you build a rapport. And then, they'll tell you, if they got a job, they'll say, baby, you've been taking care for the last 2-3 dinners. You've been it's on me, okay? No, it's on me. I had that done to me. Not that I'm special. Baby, I got it, baby. I got it. That's how it used to be back when I was in my 20s and 30s. You can take them anywhere. They had no problem with it. Now you got to take them to the best restaurant, and you still might not get none. Oh, you got to buy me this and you got to buy me that. Are you out your fucking mind, bitch? I don't know you. You got to be crazy. And you might get a disease. You might finally get it and get a disease on top of that shit, and her is denying that she gave it to you.
Get paid for all that. You could have got a real hooker, right, and paid you $150 and had a good time.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you a story. I knew a handful of former world champions. I'm not gonna tell you their names. Talked to them. Former boxing champions, WBC, former champions. They would tell me stories, and they would tell me stories about other champions too. The first thing that they do when they win a fight, they get the paycheck. It might be $1 million. It might be $50,000. It might be $100,000, $250,000. You got to give, I believe it's 35% or so, go directly to Uncle Sam. So if you make $1 million, you bringing home If it's 35%, you're bringing home 650,000, and you had maybe a fight 3 months ago, and you got some money. A lot of those guys go into real estate. A lot of smart ones. There's one guy I know. He's good. He been retired for years. He makes money off of real estate. He owns houses and shit in Florida or other states and New York. But the one brother used to tell me they go to the hospital, they get checked out, and that night or the next night they go to these, like if they fight in Las Vegas, they'll go to the hotels, and the hoes know, the pros know who that guy is. Oh, you're such and such, and then y'all get together and you know, and a lot of them guys fall in love with them pros and marry them. If I can mention a guy that you know him, he's a boxer. He get with a high class pro, and he'll turn around and marry him, which they're all pros any goddamn way. That's that whole gladiator spirit, because that's what the gladiators, when they used to win their matches, they used to, and the women would be all over them. Them gladiators, man, because that's that masculine, that's that extra testosterone. So in this country, well, the scriptures say it. Amos 7:17. Then you got 100 scriptures dealing with that same word.
Because that's all you've done anyway. And you got these guys that spend $150 in dinners, in reservation, in restaurants, and these women are.
No, we going to the diner. We going to the diner. I'll spend $50 at the diner. Eat all you want. Go to the eat all you want spot. I ain't going to no 5-star restaurant where the bill is, well, $150 is nothing. Now it's $250, $300. Ain't no way in hell. Even if I'm getting a box, I'm not paying that much. You know? We got to get to know each other. I'm trying to establish a relationship here. Other than that, I'll just go to a pro. Now in this fucked up society, you get arrested for laying with a woman. But guess what? You can go to the ramrod. You can go to two men can walk down the street anywhere in America, mainly in New York, hand in hand. Y'all can kiss each other. You got happy clubs. But if you get with a pro, you get fucking arrested. This is a fucked up. That's why this place is called Babylon the Great.
Dump them. And then what they'll do, they'll ghost them, as they say, and they'll go mess with, the Jake named Stevie down the street. You know what I'm saying? This is what they do. There's a lot of simp suckers in this world that fall for this BS. So got news for you. Every time you wear them new Air Jordans, right? You put them rings on your finger. You're trying to show some status of money. You know what you're trying to. Let's address the truth. And you get that fresh haircut. You're doing a bunch of weightlifting.
Oh, and the whip. You gotta have a whip, man. They know. They call them gold diggers. She take my money when I'm in need. Oh, she's a trifling hoe indeed.
Lifting in muscles and get a six-pack? What the hell you doing it for? You know damn well you doing it for them women.
Oh, definitely, brother. Hey, when you watch these different videos, these exercise videos, which I subscribe to a lot of them, how to get ripped with only 5 exercises, and I already know what the exercise they're gonna cover, man. The push-ups, the dumbbell presses, and so forth, the walking, the running. And they all tell you, he said, you get this body, you get the ladies. You get the ladies with this body.
Right? Anyway, according to prostitution in the Bible, it went to sacrificing your daughters to the other gods in the temples where they had harlotry, and before it got to the sex.
You're a temple prostitute. You have sex in the name of BLP, BLPR. That's in Numbers 8. The story, I'm not going to go to it. Somebody can put it in the chat. It was Aaron's son, I believe, that I was reading that a couple of months ago. I was going through that in the video where they caught an Israelite with a Midianite woman, and he was popping her in the tent, and he came in. Was it Phineas? He came in with a javelin and stuck it through both of them. Not because he was. The 7 used to say that brother was having sex with a woman of another nation. No, he was having sex in the name of BLPR. Because that's how they worship BLPR. And they call them temple prostitutes. Matter of fact, let's go into that. Temple prostitutes. Temple prostitute, Bible. Let's see what it says. See, you don't learn this in the church. The Bible mentions temple prostitutes, referring to cultic prostitution, a pagan practice involving sexual rites for fertility gods like Baal or Baal, Peor, and Asherah. Now, Baal is in the Bible. Asherah, I gotta look up, which the Israelites were commanded to shun as an abomination, because you can have a concubine, but you can't lay with a woman, a temple prostitute, and have sex in the name of BLPR. So it says Deuteronomy 23, verse 17 to 18. I'm gonna read that. It says, while some passages like Genesis 38 with Tamar and Judah, and I spoke about that, use related terms like Quadeshah. I got to look that up because it's not spelled right in the Hebrew. Modern scholarship debates if they strictly mean temple prostitutes. She wasn't a temple prostitute. She was just a prostitute. She played the harlot. She played the harlot. You got harlots out there, prostitutes that have regular jobs, and then they'll do their thing. So they got a regular job, they're a regular woman working on a job, then they do their thing on the weekend. You know? So let me do this. Let me go to Deuteronomy 23, verse 17. I wanted to make this short. It always gets long. Oh, you got swingers? Anyway, it says, there shall no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel, a happy person. But in America, you can be a sodomite. You can be a whore. What is a whore? Oh, someone that plays a harlot. Meaning she's laying down with initially she's laying down with a man, then she's laying down with another man, and maybe a third man, while she's dealing with the first man. That's whoredom. The daughter of a priest must be put to death by fire. She must be burnt, not stoned, but burnt. Thou shalt not bring the hire of a whore or the price of a dog into the house of Yahweh, the temple, the holy, the Most High, for any vow. For even both these are abomination unto Yahweh the Most High. Let me read that again. Thou shalt not bring the hire of a harlot or the price of a dog into the house of the Lord. Dog is an unclean animal. You have a dog, you play with the dog, you walk the dog, but a dog's not supposed to be in the temple. A pig. Antiochus Epiphanes put a pig in the temple, right? And he's not gonna get up in the ship. He's not gonna make it. You know. Anyway, let me come back over here. This is an interesting topic right here.
Sexual act. You automatically had. That's why it says, "Thou shalt not prostitute thy daughter." Had nothing strictly to do with sex. You can look this stuff up, but I just want to make this quick. A harlot shall be accounted as a spittle, But a married woman is a tower against death to her husband, right? You know, that's why Jake is all burnt out, trying to chase down your woman. The system is in place to have the police protect them. The government funds them. They get cars, and they even have special grants, loans, right? They don't realize they're being taxed. They even set up for the black woman to get degrees in 2 years, bachelor's degrees, accelerated degrees. This is all designed to destroy the family, right? A wicked woman is.
That's why Babylon can't be destroyed quick enough. You know, the Apostle Peter said, hasten. In, what is that, 2 Peter 3. He spoke about hastening the day. What manner of person ought ye to be in holy conversation? Be talking about the destruction, the chip. Not other nations can make it. Now, I'm not going to sit down and, other nation, ain't no other nation going to make it in the ship. None of them are going to be saved.
Given to the portion of a wicked man. Absolutely. These simps, you wicked too, man. You let your woman do every damn thing. You go into the restaurant, now, there's nothing wrong with holding the door for your woman if that's what you want to do. Hell, I hold the door for people. I mean, it's mannerisms the way I came up, But if a woman opens the door for you, the society look at it as a problem. Well, the biggest thing about relationships is not money, because the women look at money because there's no fear. The biggest thing about relationship is protection. Well, we can't do any protection because the government is in the middle between you and your woman. So you really can't protect her. You can't discipline her. And guess what? She's calling the police, or somebody calling the police, and your ass going to jail. Anyway, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord. A dishonest woman contempteth shame. Right? But an honest woman will reference her husband. Hey, come on. A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord.
And you ain't got shamefaced women out there, man. Very, very few. That's why our women are going to be completely in order in the kingdom. So I'm looking at this here. Captain Zarek TV is live. Did the Messiah have sinful flesh? The answer is no. Where does Melchizedek fit in the Trinity? It says Marlon Wayans defends Diddy. Yeah, well, Marlon Wayans got problems. He got fucking problems. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom. Sorry for me going long. On to the next. Shalom.